is Late Night Health. This is the radio show that cares about the most important part of your life, your health. During the next 2 hours, the insane Daryl Wayne and I'm Mark Alyn, will present a wide variety of issues from romance for Valentine's Day, hubba hubba hubba, to talking about the emergence of cannabis, and we'll be talking also about the Susan G. Komen Foundation. So all of that and more during the next 2 hours. Be sure to join us at latenighthealth.com, latenighthealth.com. We go to Washington, D.C., and we're going to spend some time with Edward Weidenfeld. Edward is a graduate of the University of Wisconsin and the Columbia University School of Law. He was a senior partner at a major international law firm, and he formed his own firm, the Weidenfeld Law Firm. He served as counsel to pharmaceutical manufacturing companies. He's advised 6 presidential administrations and served most recently as the chairman of the board of visitors of the National Defense University. He's a lifetime member of the American Law Institute. And he gave all of that up, I think he gave it up, we'll find out, to become a supporter of medical cannabis after he was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. He discovered that cannabis relieved the associated muscle stiffness. Now, you will notice, and I'm being really honest, you will notice that Edward has a slight difficulty in speaking, but we're going to move through it. Edward, thank you for taking some time to share your experience and your life with us here on Late Night Health.
It's my pleasure. One of the benefits of cannabis is that you become more community-oriented and anxious to help your fellow men understand the wrong-headed approach we've taken to cannabis as a medicine or as an illicit drug.
I'm curious about something. We've known about the benefits, the medical benefits of cannabis for years, maybe 50 years, maybe more, I don't know. But it's been years. I remember growing up in the 60s. I'm the only guy who grew up in the 60s who didn't, if you know what I mean. Okay? I did not huff, I did not puff, and I did not inhale. I just wasn't interested. And if I was around it, I got away from it. I didn't like the smell. Now, that's one kind of cannabis. But all kinds of cannabis have been routinely put on drug lists. Has this been from misinformation from administrations and the government, do you think, Edward?
I'm convinced it's been a result of a policy that has been wrong for not 50 years, but in fact we've known of the beneficial effects of this plant going back to the ancient texts of India, of the Bible, but it became an instrument, I'm sorry to say, that became too useful in repressing the recalcitrant minority, and it reached the point that in the United States we had not only been losing the war on drugs, the expense of keeping such a high percentage of the population in prison is greater, I believe, than the cost of food and shelter for that segment of the population that can't feed and shelter themselves.
Well, even today, we're still not 100% sure, at least I'm not, is cannabis federally legal or not. About a year ago at local health food stores, the shelves were filled with CBD, which is the non-psychoactive product. But today, even on those same shelves that were loaded with different products, they're missing. They've been taken off the retailer shelves. Is this wrong? Shouldn't we have access to CBD if we need it for pain, for Parkinson's, for all kinds of medical needs?
Absolutely correct. But let me explain to you, there are not two components of cannabis. There are about 113 different components. The two most famous are THC, which is the psychoactive, and CBD, which is thought to be more of an anti-inflammatory and slight mood elevated.
And 113, I was not aware of that. And it's been used for a variety of ailments. I mean, I remember hearing about people sneaking, pot into hospitals when people were suffering and dying from cancer. And I always found it reprehensible, I think is the only word I can think of, where these people were in such pain, but they didn't want morphine because morphine just knocks them out and they wouldn't remember anything. Where pot alleviated the pain, and while they're high, they still had some cognitive function.
You not only maintain your cognitive function, your focus is much, much stronger, and your mood much, much better. I've got a disease, as you pointed out, called Parkinson's, where each symptom requires treatment because there's no overall treatment for the disease. I've probably reduced the number of pills and patches and intravenous shots by a half.
Wow.
But again, I caution, this, in my opinion, is not a toy to play with. You should, if you've got any overriding condition, you should talk to your physician about the pros and cons of cannabis.
You actually have formed a company, I believe, in the D.C. area, providing cannabis. District Cannabis, I believe, is the name of the company. It's the Mid-Atlantic's breakthrough medical cannabis company. Are you also in favor or not of recreational use of cannabis?
I'm in favor of controlled recreational use.
I mean, like alcohol? I mean, we shouldn't drink and drive. We should not smoke and drive.
I'm more concerned than just the driving. I want to see that it is not sold to teenagers. In the same way, I don't think guns should be sold to teenagers.
We're on the same wavelength right there. Our guest from Washington, D.C. and District Cannabis is Edward Weidenfeld. He is a proponent of medical cannabis, and it's helped him immensely, as you've heard, cutting down his pharmaceutical preparations and drugs. Has the cannabis, the CBD, has that also made you feel better? And we've just got a few seconds left for your answer before we come back.
Much better. It's a better mood elevator and a more natural sleep aid.
Maybe I ought to look in it. Sleep is not something I get an awful lot of. Anyway, this is Late Night Health. I'm Mark Alyn, along with the insane Daryl Wayne. We're going to return with Edward in just a couple of moments. Join us at latenighthealth.com. You'll see Edward's photo and some other information. Don't go away. We've got much more coming up and happening here on Late Night Health.
You're listening to Late Night Health with Mark Alyn. The show continues in a moment.
Welcome to Guide to the Soul. This is Robert Clancy. Hope is one of those words that has no synonyms. It just simply is, and it's something that you'll have in your life as long as you want it. You can only lose hope when you choose to let go of it. So why let go? Each day of your life is a blank canvas, and you will always have a choice on how you paint it. It takes courage to take a journey of hope, but it's up to you to take that first step. And it's always accomplished by taking one step at a time. Hope is the greatest beacon you have to help you find your way out of the shadows of darkness, back to the light of a new day.
For more inspiration from Robert Clancy, visit guidetothesoul.com or go to the Moments with Robert page on latenighthealth.com. Recently, I met Jacqueline from Bright here in Los Angeles. She gave me a hearing exam and then showed me how to hear again with the new Signia Pure Series hearing aids, and she can give you your life back too. I hear birds chirping, birds cooing, and even my wife. They easily connect to my smartphone. The Signia hearing aids are amazing, and with the charge and go, I don't have to fiddle with batteries and hear all day long. Not hearing is frustrating for you and your family. I know you don't have a problem, but trust me, call Bright Here now for a free hearing exam, a $125 value, yours free, just for making an appointment now. There are offices throughout the Los Angeles area. Call Bright Here now at 323-424-7100. That's 323-424-7100 for a free hearing exam. There's no obligation. Call now, 323-424-7100, or visit them on the web at brighthere.com.